Hello, everybody. It's Dr. Rick dropping in on you. Hope everybody is having an unbelievable start to your week. Hope you had a great weekend. I hope that you're focused. Remember what I always say, if you're still breathing, you're still in the fight. So even if it doesn't look the way you want it to look, if it doesn't feel how you want it to feel, if you're not where you believe you should be, if you're still breathing, you're still in the fight. Wake up, stand up, square your shoulders, and go out and make things happen. Before I get started, real quick, don't forget, if there are resources in the description box, there are always going to be resources. I'm actually looking for about 3 people to work with. I have a couple of slots open for one-on-ones. It's not something I do nearly as frequently as I used to, but I am open right now for a few. Also, the Mind Unleashed course link is in there if you're looking to literally shift your thinking, which is the beginning beginning of changing your life. You don't want to miss this course. I designed it, man, well over 10 years ago. It has gone through a great deal of transformation over time, but it has always been highly effective. Again, you have to be committed to changing your life. You have to be committed to shifting the paradigms that govern how you see things, how you view things, and how you move. Look, I'm not going to take much of your time this morning. I'm going to get right to it. I'm real big on protecting your energy. I'm real big on protecting my energy. And when I talk about that, I'm not talking in some pseudo ideological way. I'm talking about in the real way that our body emits and absorbs energy. Your thoughts are a frequency. They literally emit energy. Your cells that process this in every cell of your body is processing your stimuli, your engagements, your reality, from your thoughts to what you see, what you hear, what you feel. All of this is literally creating a frequency or energy, and it can be measured on a hertz scale. If you're feeling sad, angry, depressed, anxious, envious, jealous, bitter, all of those things fall 200 hertz or lower. Very low frequency, very low vibration. It can lead to poor health outcomes. It has a negative impact on gene expression, has a negative impact on gene performance. It has a negative impact on how your genes transcribe your DNA, which again determines how you feel, your health, and all these other different things. Regulate stress response and so much more. You move up to 460 hertz and higher, you now are operating in a space where the body actually starts to work in your favor. Literally, you can heal yourself by elevating your frequency. This is not some pseudoscience. This is neuroscience. This is quantum psychology, quantum physics. Is so much more to it. I can't get into that, but protect your energy. Well, how do you protect your energy, Doc? One of the biggest ways we sit up and we expose our energy isn't in external energy coming at us. It's in the energy we expend trying to address things we shouldn't have to address. Stop investing your energy and your time in trying to get other people to see your point of view. Stop trying to invest your energy and your time trying to convince people of who you are. Stop investing your energy and your time trying to earn the approbation and approval of people who mean you no good, people who aren't invested in your joy, your happiness, your success, your fulfillment. You need to focus on the things that are beneficial, that have an intrinsic value. You need to focus on finding the people that you can bring into your circle that will fan your flames. I don't mean bring in yes men. I mean bring in people who will hold you accountable, but will constantly remind you of who you are. You need to bring in people who are going to breathe life into things that may be waning because you're overwhelmed. You need someone that'll come in and speak highly of you. When you invest energy trying to convince people who have no intent on really truly understanding you, you are burning energy and you are lowering your vibration because you're not getting the reciprocity of the energy you're trying to produce and project. Energy attracts like energy. Energy is resonant. And that means you're going to resonate with the energy you emit. So if you start allowing somebody to get in your head and you start trying to convince them, the more you try to convince them, the more you search out their level, the more you lower yourself, the more you remove yourself from the people you should be attracting, the people you should be attracted to, the things you should be attracting, the ideas and thoughts you should be attracting. The very presence of God is not going to be in those low vibrations. God is operating at the highest frequency, obviously, and you can get there first by being grateful. I tell people all the time, I wake up grateful. It doesn't matter what I went through yesterday. It doesn't matter how bad things have gone over the last week. Doesn't matter what happened and who did what. When I wake up in the morning, the first thing that comes out of my mind before I move is thank you. And then after I say thank you, I say I am grateful. I am immensely grateful for this moment. It doesn't matter what went on yesterday. It doesn't matter what's going to happen in the future today as I move through the challenges that are inevitable. I'm thankful for this very moment, because in this very moment, I am aware and conscious of the fact that I'm alive. If I'm alive, I'm still breathing. If I'm still breathing, I'm still in the fight. If I'm still in the fight, there's a chance for me to win. I trust my design. I trust my destiny. I trust the designer. I trust God that what I have coming to me, that there's nothing out there that can stop it. Doesn't mean that there won't be obstacles, doesn't mean that there won't be challenges, but I'm built for this. In the moment that you determine in your life that you are built for every challenge that's coming into you, the anxiety will leave, the fear will leave. When you determine in your life every day that I'm going to be grateful, fear cannot exist in the presence of gratitude. Anger cannot exist in the presence of gratitude. Anxiety cannot exist in the presence of gratitude. The moment you decide I'm going to be grateful, your brain, the neurological process that drives your entire behavior, will start to search out what you should be grateful for. It'll find it too, because I guarantee, I don't care what you're going through, how bad it may seem, there's something for you to be grateful for. And if you set your mind to focus on something, your mind will do exactly that. But you cannot give yourself. Now, the other thing you have to do is you've got to deal with the enemy on the inside. There's an African proverb that says, if there's no enemy on the inside, the enemy on the outside can do us no harm. See, when you are truly dealing with what's on the inside, when you deal with the anxiety, the fears, the trepidation, the limiting beliefs, the constructs that put you in boxes that govern how you see things, how you feel about things, how you move, and you open yourself to be exposed to the infinite possibilities that God designed this universe to bring to you, then you start to realize that what I once thought was impossible is no longer impossible. We live in a world full of situations in which people have challenged the impossibilities in order to bring forth things that we are now taking for granted. From Orville and Wilbur Wright and the plane, Alexander Graham Bell and the phone, the creator of the cell phone, and ultimately the satellite phone, the person who designed the video technology that we're using right now. At some point, it was believed impossible, a pipe dream. That's never going to happen. And what happens? Somebody challenges it. You have the responsibility to challenge the impossibility that's sitting in front of you, the opportunity that's sitting in front of you masquerading as an impossibility. I'm trying to get you to understand that there are some things out there that are beyond what you think, but within your reach if you change your thinking. So you deal with the enemy on the inside. When you deal with the enemy on the outside, all that other stuff inside, all that stuff on the outside stops mattering. Why? Because when you take on your mindset that I'm built for this, that nothing can stop me, that if I'm still breathing, I'm still pressing, that the only thing that's going to stop me from getting what I'm after is death, then you'll be surprised what you achieve. But I can also tell you the flip side of this. If you accept that there's a limitation, if you accept that there's a point that you can get to that will break you, that will stop you, that will turn you around, that will put you out of the game, you will get there. Why? That's how God designed the universe to work. That's how faith works. Whatever you are speaking, whatever you are thinking is what you are producing. That's why God told Moses to go back and tell the Israelites, he says, I heard their complaints against me. And he said, tell them that as they have spoken in my hearing, so shall I do to them. In other words, God meets you at the level of your expectations. If it's not happening, it's because you're expecting it not to happen. Now, I'm not saying it's magic that you're going to sit up and say it should happen and it's going to by osmosis appear. I'm saying that when you set your mind to something, when you truly start to believe that it will, your behavior, your thinking, your processes, your perception of what you're going through changes. I tell people all the time, when you discover your purpose, it will explain your pain. It's so many people wondering around aimlessly about in this life with no sense of purpose, no sense of direction, no sense of awareness, just simply existing. And they miss the entire reason that they're here. Wondering aimlessly about with nothing in sight, but just hoping something better happens tomorrow, when the truth of the matter is there is something on the inside of you that has every answer that you need, that you can literally tap into. Do you realize that 85% of Americans of working age wake up and go to a job that they hate every day? 85%. Only roughly 15% are fulfilled in what they do and doing what they love. The other 85 are simply showing up because they feel they have to. And yes, you do have responsibilities. Yes, you do have to produce. Yes, you do have to take care of business. But the idea that you have to be in that place that's literally sucking the life out of you, you are literally slowly committing spiritual suicide under the guise of being responsible. And that's not God-like. God wants you to be a reflection of him. And there's no way you can be in a place of constant misery and be reflecting God. You are sitting up and hiding behind your fear. You're hiding behind your idea of your limitations. You're hiding behind what it is you think that you can and cannot do based off of past experiences and other persons. And the one thing you got to do is get rid of those minimal minded people in your circle that keep whispering the sweet nothings of negativity into your ear. Start to find you some people that are reaching for the same thing you're reaching for. Find you some more people that have already achieved it. Build you a circle that literally can breathe life into your desires, your aspirations, and the thing you're supposed to be. You're supposed to be exceptional. You're supposed to be phenomenal. You're supposed to be incredible. You're supposed to be remarkable. You're not meant to be average. Nothing is average about the designer. Nothing is average about your destiny. Nothing is average about what you're supposed to be doing in this world. You're supposed to be a representation of the designer. You're supposed to have people look at you and go, whatever you're doing, I want it. I tell my evangelical friends all the time, you don't evangelize by what you say. It's good to have words to say. And we've gotten into the whole religious idea that we can preach people into a certain place. That's not, you want to bring people into a place and you want to prove to them that your God is God and that your God, you should let them see God in your life. Let them see God in the way that you move, in the way that you operate. But I'm not just talking about all the great things that happen in your life that people can celebrate. They ought to be able to see God when you're going through something. People look at me all the time when they know I'm going through some real dark moments and they accuse me of being in denial. Why? Because there's something on the inside of me. There's something in my spirit that disagrees with negative circumstances. And so I see it, but I know I'm going to overcome it. Why? Because God has given me the ability to visualize where I'm going to be. And where I visualize is where I go. That's why vision boards work. That's why affirmations work. You shall declare a thing and it shall be established for you, and that life will shine on your path. There are things that have biblical context, but also have scientific meaning. The power of your self-talk is driving your life, whether you realize it or not. What are you saying about your life? I'm broke. I'm struggling. I'm just trying to make it. All those things are just things we throw out there. One of the things I had to teach myself when I lost my great grandfather, I shifted my thinking. I was in a place of pain and everything became dark to me. And I didn't realize it, but I kept saying I can't win for losing. And next thing you know, I couldn't win. I went from just everything flowing and success after success after success to just bam, bam, bam. And I couldn't realize it. And my mentor pulled my tail to, hey, man, we've been on the phone 15 minutes talking and you said I can't win for losing 4 times. How do you think that's playing out in your life? How do you think that's playing out in your behavior? When you keep telling your mind you're not going to win no matter what you do, you're going to lose. The mind starts to plan to lose. You control the neural pathways you create in your brain that will determine how you process, how you perceive. That's why you can get two people doing the same thing, going through the same experience, and get two outcomes. Perception becomes your reality. How you perceive what you're going through will determine the outcome, not what you're going through, not what you're facing, not what you've been through, not what you've had to deal with, but how you decide it's going to impact you. With me, every setback is preparing me to learn something, building strength and fortitude and resilience. It's preparing me for something bigger. So I see it as an opportunity to grow. So when I get in the dark moments, I don't fold. I don't go, oh, woe is me. I don't go, oh, what am I going to possibly do now? I sit up and say, oh, it's about to get real and I'm ready. Why? I'm built for this. There's been some times in my life that I didn't have the answer. And if you're really truly pressing yourself to be the best version of yourself, you're going to have a lot of those moments because you're going to keep pushing yourself in spaces you're unfamiliar with. You're not going to sit back in your comfort zone. You're going to get in spaces you're unfamiliar with. And when you do that, you're going to feel out of place. And you're not going to have the answers because the answers come after you take the step. God provides providence after faith has been activated. You're going to have to take the step. And you're going to have to step into a place you cannot see where your feet is going to land. That's faith. Faith is the substance of things hoped for and the evidence of things what not seen. If I can see it, if I can plan it, if I can map it out, it just requires execution. Faith says I know it's possible. I just don't know how yet, but it's possible and I'm going to walk in it. And when you walk in it, you move towards something, and God designed the universe to respond. When you start walking in faith, the universe will literally conspire with you to bring you what you desire. And it's unfailing. The problem is we quit. We give up. We start turning to people and asking, well, what do you think? When I make up in my mind that I'm going after something, I don't need anybody else's validation. The fact that God allowed me to envision it tells me that it's true, that it's possible. The very idea that I can conceive it in my mind is God's evidence that it's possible. Because if I believe in God and I believe God is benevolent, good, then I know that God wouldn't give me the ability to see something in my mind that I could never have. That's torture. That's not good. That's dark. That's evil. That's sadistic. And I don't believe God to be sadistic. So the fact that I can see it in my mind tells me it's possible. Matter of fact, I understand now with the years of study I've done and the years of practice and observation I've seen that when I conceive it in my mind, that's the beginning of it becoming. But I don't need anybody's approval. I don't need anybody's affirmation. I don't need anybody to confirm it. And the crazy thing is, when I decide to stand in it, that happens anyway. The right people show up and they speak things I've never spoken. They speak things that I've only thought. They share things about me that I've always known, but nobody else has heard me say. And that tells me, hey, I'm walking where I'm supposed to be walking. I'm standing where I'm supposed to be standing. But you have a responsibility to yourself and the designer to walk at the highest level. Get out of that comfort zone. Stop sitting up and expending energy trying to convince people who have no good intent towards you in the first place of who you are, what you mean, what you don't mean, what you're trying to say. Stop trying to convince them to like you. Stop trying to convince them to believe in you. Stop trying to convince them to co-sign you. Step into who you are, walk in who you are, believe in who you are, move in who you are. I'm trying to get you to understand that you are designed for something more than just existing. You are designed for more than simply existing. Now, here's the final thing. Nothing happens without you taking steps, nothing. But that first step is powerful. When you make that first step, you'll start to see the gates of providence and abundance open up to you. I'm not telling you there won't be challenges. I'm not telling you that you won't experience delay, but delay does not mean denial. I'm not telling you that you won't have people talking behind your backs. I'm not telling you that if you share it with the wrong person, they won't laugh and call you crazy. What I'm telling you is that's something so big that it should shake you. My favorite quote of all time is by Stephen Furtick, and it says that if the vision that you have for your life isn't so huge that it intimidates you, there's a good chance it's insulting God. And I walk on it every day. If I wake up and what I'm talking about doing for the day, for the week, for the month, for the year isn't so huge that it makes me have a sense of urgency, not anxiety, but an urgency that says, you got to get up, put this work in. This thing is big. You got to go for it. You don't have time to play around. If it doesn't move me like that, I ain't reaching far enough. If it's a 100% guarantee that I'm knocking it down, that I ain't reaching hard enough. It should stretch you. It should make you have to sit up and go, wait a minute. If you're getting up every day and you're just showing up, you're not putting in halfway or close to something that's possible into your life. You're sitting up and you're accepting. Average is a default when you don't walk in your purpose. And we live in a culture that celebrates average. Why? Because the people who benefit off of average people need you. But that's not where you're supposed to be. You're supposed to be making an impact. You're supposed to be doing something that shakes the ground. You are making your imprint and your impression. I tell people this all the time. The first half of my life was about me, proving what I could do, proving what I could drive, proving where I could live, proving where I could go, showing everybody I made it, and realized I was empty. Not even close to being fulfilled. Had all that stuff, walking around that house, 3 o'clock in the morning, can't sleep. And then somebody whispered in my matter of fact, same mentor that told me about my self-talk told me, until you walk in your purpose, nothing you do is going to fulfill you. And that very moment, I made up in my mind that I was going to live in my purpose. I was going to touch lives. I was going to heal people. I was going to share what was given to me in spirit and in practice and in academics, and I was going to change people's lives. And so the second half of my life has been about my legacy. And your legacy is what you leave behind to speak of you when you're gone. And you should be building a legacy that speaks generations after you're gone. We talk about people all the time that's been dead for years. Why? They built a legacy. They're no different than you. They didn't give some special blessing that you're going to be a legacy person and then everybody else just walk around and praise you for being a legacy person. No, every person has a gift. The gift in the Bible says your gift will make room for you and bring you before great men. But we're not searching the gift. We're just fitting in. I heard someone say that everybody is born unique, but the most of us will die carbon copies. Why? Because everybody's just trying to fit in. Everybody's doing what everybody else is doing. Nobody's doing what they were designed to do. Well, I'm challenging you this morning. Do what you're designed to do. Stand up and ask yourself, what am I built for? What am I designed for? What am I naturally gifted at? What should I be doing with it? How can I bless others? Because it's always about blessing others. Everything you desire comes to you because you're touching someone else. It's a reciprocal effect that the universe has. When I touch and I bless and I heal and I give, it may not come back from the person I touched, but it's coming. I trust it. I trust it. Trust your design, trust your purpose, trust your destiny. And here's the beautiful thing about destiny. Destiny is a derivative of destined, and it means that it is destined to happen. The only person that can stop your destiny is you. Matter of fact, one of the coolest definitions I ever heard about destiny says the more that you try to stop it, you're only sure that it happens. Nobody in front of you can stop your destiny. It's destined to happen. They simply become a part of it. The person that's throwing the obstacle in front of you becomes a part of your destiny because you overcome the obstacle, making you stronger for the next thing in line. They didn't stop you. They propelled you. They cannot stop destiny. The only way you stop your destiny is you quit on yourself. You don't even try. Stand up, square your shoulders, dust your shoulders off, square your shoulders, hold your head up, and you sit up and make up in your mind, no matter what happens, I'm not stopping. It's about the distance I'm prepared to go. I ask people all the time when they come to me and they're saying what they want. I say, well, what's the distance you're prepared? How far are you willing to go? Because see, that's going to be the determining factor, not what you want, not who you know, not how many courses you take. Now it's going to be, am I willing to get to the tough part and stay? Am I willing to get knocked down and stay? Am I willing to be talked about and stay? Am I willing to be in a place of darkness by myself for a minute And if you're not going to get there, because I guarantee you, whatever it is you fear, whatever it is that'll turn you around, you're going to have to face it. I stand here because I faced down those dark moments. And I'm challenging you to do the same thing. Look, may you be blessed. May God move in your life. May you see everything, but it starts with you being committed. On that note, look, I'm going to get ready to get out of here. Don't forget what I said in the beginning. I'm looking for 3 people who are willing to work with me. The link for that is in the description box. I'm looking also for as many people that want to sign up for the Mind Unleashed course. This is a course I created to mimic how I work with my clients through Visionetics, a concept that I created, but it's a way to do it for those people who can't work with me for one way or another. It's a more affordable way to do it, but I promise you it's very comprehensive and it is very impactful. But that's up to you. But whatever you do, whether you work with me, whether you work with someone else, whether you try to figure this thing out on your own, however you're going to do it, what I'm telling you is it's your day today. You can't sit up and wake up another day and sit up and accept life at a level that you don't see it being fulfilling in what you know deep in your side. Because see, next to that gift is a yearning. See, God gave you the gift. The gift is a part of your purpose. It's the thing that it pushes you to your place. And next to that is a yearning to use the gift. And that yearning is saying there's something more. And you keep pressing it down. You keep pressing it down. The more you press it down, the more suppressed you become, the more unenergetic you become, the more docile you become, the more pliable you become, the more you start to accept things. And before you know it, you're looking up and nothing even looks close to what you once thought was possible in your life because you accepted and you didn't challenge. Today is that day. Get up, make a commitment, make a move, do something, buy a book, buy a course, sit up and call somebody, go get your DBA if you want to start a business. You got to do the first step. On that note, I'm out of here. As I always say, I live my life on full so that when I leave this place, I die on E. I challenge you to do the same thing. I'm out.